Hi everyone, I'm here to film the last part of my May book haul. So I have a bunch of books, so I'm going to get started. First I have Love and Leftovers by Sarah Tregea. And this is a book written in verse, which I didn't realize. It's always hard when you buy a book online. You don't know what the inside looks like, because the back has a regular synopsis and then the inside is all in verse. So we'll see how this goes. It's just about a girl and kind of things are changing. She's going on summer vacation. The vacation ends up being permanent. She has to move. So we'll see how that goes in verse, I'm not sure. Then I have Featherbound by Sarah Raleigh. And this is, it's a fairy tale retelling. I can't remember which story it is, but it has to do with swans. So thought it was something about ballet, but I don't think it is. Anyway, that will be a good one. Then I have Summer State of Mind by Jen Kalanita, and this is a companion novel to the Sleepaway Girls book, which I showed in an earlier haul, so I'm not going to talk too much about that. Then I got Heartbeat by Elizabeth Scott, and this is, it's about a girl whose mother dies, and then she's kind of walking around crazy and can't deal with her mother being dead, but they're keeping the mother alive on machines because she's pregnant. So she's kind of trying to handle all of that craziness while being a teenager. Then I have Perfect Lies by Kiersten White, and this is the sequel to Mind Games, which I have but haven't read, so I'm not going to talk about that one. Next is Don't Call Me Baby by Gwendolyn Heasley. And this is about a girl whose mother's a blogger, and she basically blogs about her kid's life, and so she's grown up, everybody knows all her business about everything, and now I think she's like 15 or something, and she's kind of ready to live a life that not everybody knows about. Next I have The Chance You Won't Return by Annie Carty, and this is about a girl whose mother is kind of delusional and thinks that she's Amelia Earhart, and so she's afraid that one day her mom's gonna actually like try and take Amelia Earhart's like plane trip, and she's like dressing in like khaki pants and like scarves like Amelia Earhart. So that sounds interesting. My daughter just did a big report on Amelia Earhart, so I thought it would be fun to read something that was loosely based on it. Then I have She's Not Invisible by Marcus Sedgwick. This is about a girl whose father goes missing, and so she and her brother have to go look and find him, but she is blind, so she has to rely on her other senses and kind of the tips and tricks that her father taught her to use out in the world to try and figure out where her father is. Then I have Expiration Day by William Campbell Powell, and this is science fiction-y, and it takes place in like 2049, and kids, when they turn 18, that's like their expiration day, and they like go bad after that or something. They have to be returned. So it's got a bunch of robots, and like the main character isn't a robot, but her friend she thinks is, and she's trying to figure out who of the people she knows is a robot and who isn't. So that'll be interesting futuristic concept. Then I have We Live in Water by Jess Walter, and this is the author of Beautiful Ruins, and I have that book. This is short stories though, so this will be kind of one that I can just pick up and read one of the stories and put down. I probably won't read all of it at once. So it's a bunch of different stories about like struggling, and I mean, as you can see on the cover, there's like been a flood, obviously, so dealing with tragedies and disasters. Then I have Love and Other Foreign Words by Erin McCann, and I'm not really clear on what this is about. Obviously about love and different languages and stuff, so I don't think it's like foreign languages necessarily, but just different, finding people who understand you. Then I have Pandemic by Yvonne Ventresca. And this is about a girl who gets some kind of sickness, and it changes her from like the perfect student into this like rebel, and she's all negative, and then her parents leave, and then this huge an outbreak occurs, and so now she has to figure out what's gonna happen. She's in charge, and the birds creep me out. Makes me think of Alfred Hitchcock. Next I have Torn Away by Jennifer Brown, and this is about a girl who lives in the Midwest where there's tornadoes and stuff, and she there's some huge tornado rips through her town, and she loses everything, and she ends up having to go live with family members that she doesn't know, and she has to rebuild her life from the ground up. So this will be a tough one. Jennifer Brown tends to write tough books to read about. Very interesting topics, but really tough to read about. Then I have Love, Inc. by Yvonne Collins and Sandy Rideout, and this is about 3 girls who meet in a counseling group because all the parents are getting divorced, and they find out that they're all dating the same guy. So they make this company called Love, Inc. where they're gonna kind of get revenge on him, and then they're so successful that like other people want them to help get revenge on people they know. So that sounds cute. Next is Catching Air by Sarah Buchanan. And this is about a woman who goes with her husband to run a bed and breakfast. It looks summery from the front, or springy at least, and it takes place in the snow. So it's kind of a misleading cover. But they go to this bed and breakfast to work with her, I think it's her husband's brother and his wife. And so they're, running this bed and breakfast, and they get this big winter wedding of their first client, and they have to work together to make it perfect. Next I have The Art of Lainey by Paula Stokes, and this is about a girl who is supposed to spend the summer with her boyfriend, and then he breaks up with her, and so she and her friends start reading The Art of War, and so they are trying to, she wants to win her boyfriend back, so she kind of uses this other guy to win him back, and then kind of starts falling for this other guy. So this looks really cute too. Okay. Then I have Broken Hearts, Fences, and Other Things to Mend. And this just sounds like it's about summer in the Hamptons. And what this woman has to do. She's supposed to do one thing over the summer, and then ends up, those plans fall through, so she goes and spends the summer in the Hamptons, and she hasn't been back in 5 years, and kind of her ex-best friend is back there, and people don't recognize her, so she uses that to her advantage, and so we'll see how that one goes. Then I have Delicious by Ruth Reichel, and this is about a woman who goes to work at a food magazine called Delicious, and then the magazine kind of goes under, and she stays on, and she ends up finding like letters that people have written from way back when, and kind of learns the history of the magazine and stuff. So that sounds really, really interesting. I like reading about food. So this is The Mark of the Dragonfly by Jaylee Johnson. And I think this is probably the most beautiful book that I own. It is gorgeous. And it's, I think it's middle grade. And it's kind of a, one girl finds another girl who belongs in another, the dragonfly territories, and if she returns her, she gets this big reward, but she has to figure out how to get there because the train costs too much money, and there's people guarding it, and what. So Without the Dust Jacket is amazing. It looks like this old book. It's the same on the back, and then it has the spine. It is just gorgeous. I mean, I just love this book. Then I have Shattered by Terry Terry. This is the third book in the Slate Age trilogy. I finally have all three, and I can hopefully start reading this soon. I think my mom read the first two and really liked it, so I'm really excited to read that. Then I have How to Love by Katie Cotugno. And this one is about a girl who falls in love with a guy, and then all of a sudden he disappears, and she finds out she's pregnant. And then 3 years later, she's living happily with her daughter, and everything's fine, and then the guy all of a sudden comes back into her life. Just reappears out of nowhere. So that's going to be a good one. Next I have Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. And this is about a girl who's enjoying her life, going to college, and then she finds out her boyfriend's cheating on her. So now she's kind of at a loss. She doesn't know where to go, what to do next. And then she discovers her neighbor, who happens to be a musician. So this has like music lyrics, and it even has a like a soundtrack that goes with it. So this is going to be really, really good too. Next I have The End or Something Like That by Anne D. Ellis. And this is about two friends who kind of make plans for the afterlife, where they're going to meet and what they're going to do. And one friend is waiting for the other, and she doesn't show. And so she's not sure what that means. So that's an interesting concept, making plans for the afterlife. Then lastly, I have The Book of Love by Lynn Weingarten. And this, I'm not sure if it's a sequel or just a companion novel to The Secret Sisterhood of Heartbreakers, which I have not read. So I'm not going to discuss what this one's about until I don't want to give anything away. So that is it for my May book haul, and I will be back very soon with my birthday book haul. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.